Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to part 2 of the Saint Seiya Saint Cloth Myth EX Goddess Athena and Saori Kido Divine Saga Premium Set. But before we get started, if you haven't yet already done so, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another awesome review. Now, as I mentioned, this is part 2. The first part actually looked at the big packaging and focused more on the Saori Kido civilian version of Athena, whereas in this video, we're going to focus more on the armored version of Athena. So I already took a look at all the boxes, the big box as well as both of these boxes. So if you want to look at that into more detail, just click on that first video, which I will put a link probably in one of those cards here at the top. But without further ado, let's crack this box open and see what she has to offer. Alright guys, and here we have Athena as well as her very own personal god cloth in the object mode. Let's move her out of the way first and take a look at this god cloth. So, it's a very nice design, and for those that actually don't know, all of the god figures have their armor designed after them, of course. So she is Athena, this is Athena. You can see we have the shield over here, nice silver with some gold highlights, as well as that golden staff that Athena holds. We do see a nice helmet, very Spartan in design, and we do see these nice gold wings, and it's just this nice kind of silverish, purplish design all throughout her armor. Very beautiful, kind of down on the skirt pieces as well, just turning her around, trying not to drop everything because this is a very expensive piece and I do not want to repurchase another one. And on the back, you see very beautiful. It's very just divine looking, of course. So yeah, that is that. And just got a close up of that face. It's a golden face. It's really nice all throughout. So there is that. Moving her off to the side. Let's bring in the actual figure here. So here we have Saori Kido, or Athena. Now this is actually my first time handling a female figure. That didn't come out right. Let me rephrase that. This is my first time handling a female Mythcloth EX figure. There, that's better. And I've never actually seen one like this before. Again, she is very feminine, very slender in design compared to some of the other ones. If you watch some of my other reviews, you'll know such as like Hades or Thanatos and Hypnos, they don't look the exact same, of course. Their limbs are much thicker, much more male in design. This is, of course, we got larger hips, smaller chest. Well, not smaller chest, but smaller kind of shoulders. And of course, just really nice, really solid feeling. Again, this is a EX metal figure. And what I mean by that is, see how the knees and the elbows are all metal. Now, something for her specifically, are her forearms are also made in this pearlescent plastic. It's not actually metal, it's just pearlescent in color. The other EX metal figures did not have that, so I'm not sure as to why that is the case, but I'm not complaining. It still looks good. It really matches up with the hands there. And we do see kind of metal for the feet. And just overall, the joints are very tight. And of course, the main body has this nice pearlescent white paint on there as well. Nice hair, very nicely sculpted in design with all the striations. And of course, these hair pieces are on ball joints. And if you watch my previous part 1 review of this figure, it's basically very similar hair designs, just kind of on ball joints. So speaking of articulation, neck is on a double swivel and a hinge. Base of the neck is on a ball joint. Shoulders do have this butterfly joint. We do have a hinge that goes up to just under 90, but we do have a ball joint that goes all the way around. Bicep rotation right there, a double bend at the elbow. Of course, if you can compare this to the male figures, the elbows and the joints are a little looser because they are smaller, but again, still much nicer compared to ones that don't have the metal joints. Wrist is on a ball hinge, getting the arms out of the way. The body does extend for armoring purposes, such as with all Mythcloth EX figures, and it does collapse down. If you do extend it up, you do get more mobility. So there's forward, and there is back. It is a little gappy here, so that's unfortunate. We can push that back down. Waist is on a ball joint there. Legs can kick forward that far, very tight, very nice. And backwards to right about there because her tush is a little too big. And going out to the side, we can get just about the splits. A swivel here at the thigh, double bend at the knee, again, very solid. and a swivel up into the ankle, a ankle pivot, a hinge here, and a toe pivot. That gets you to about there. So yeah, very, very nice articulation, very solid as well. Something that I do want to mention with this body, as well as the previous one, Saori Kido, the one without the EX medal, is that the feet are very small. And I do get it, she's female, she has heels as well, but it just makes the figure very unstable and it's hard for her to stand, especially with the other one with the dress. It's almost impossible to try to position the feet because you have to get under the dress to position the feet, and the dress actually has a metal wire on the bottom, so it's really hard to kind of maneuver. So it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but again, not a deal breaker by any means. So yeah, here we have that. So what I'll do now, I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty familiar. Let's armor Athena up. So we'll be right back. All right, and here we have the goddess Athena all robed up in her god cloth. Now taking a closer look at this figure here, we can see it looks very, very beautiful. Lots of nice silver armor with kind of lavender highlights all throughout, as well as some gold on the wings. Very, very beautiful. You can easily tell this is a god cloth just with all of the armor that's on him, as well as those lustrous wings. And of course, I do get that face of the camera focus. Very, very beautiful, very, very feminine. We do have a nice kind of purplish collar up there as well. Nice big shoulder pads, as well as little pads that kind of just protect her neck on both sides. Very beautiful down here. Nice kind of skirt piece. And we do see she does have kind of a cloth skirt piece underneath, which I will say I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'll get more onto that in a little bit. I'm just going to spin her around here. Just gonna find the best way to hold her. Don't want to drop her, of course. This is a very expensive figure. Turn around from the back, and you can see not much to see here, just more big golden wings. And of course, nicely sculpted hair there. So yeah, very, very nice. Nice kind of just your typical Mythcloth EX God cloth. Now, there's a few things I want to say about this figure. This figure looks really nice, but handling it in hand, it's not as good as what I would have hoped. In terms of actual overall joint stability, it's very good. Like I said, this is an EX metal figure. I showed off the body with all the metal joints. However, first things first, as I mentioned with the previous Saori Kido Part 1 video, is that the feet are just too small, and they're on heels too. Now, for a god cloth with a lot of extra metal weight, for just having those two small feet is really not enough for stability. She'll topple over, and it's really hard to maneuver those feet as well, especially with that skirt. It is really, really hard to try to get the feet to kind of stand flat under while you're trying to get under that skirt and position it. And it's even worse on the other one because the other one had a metal wire around the down, like on the bottom. This one doesn't have that, as you can see, but still it's very hard to kind of get up into that. So other than that, it's a very nice figure. Upper body, no issues at all, but it's just the legs here. It's horrible. It's really hard to kind of just position everything. And you actually have to get the skirt kind of underneath this belt piece on the inside. If I bring it close here, you can actually see just over there, you do see a little bit of skirt sticking out over there and a little bit right there as well. And that's what the instructions say. They want you to kind of make sure that gets pinched by this belt so it doesn't actually slide down. Now, I'm just gonna kind of lift under the skirt here so we can actually see her leg armor, and I might get flagged for this, so sorry in advance, but I'm just gonna go up her skirt here. We can see she only has armor for the lower legs. Actually, no upper thigh armor, and of course that'll just be really hard to kind of put this skirt on while you're trying to stick those upper thigh pieces in there. So it's really, really hard. But again, of course, we have the skirt. We can't really see what's going on in there, so we just see the lower leg armor, and of course it's still pretty nicely designed, but not too flamboyant as the rest of her is. So yeah, that is that. Again, very beautiful, just really hard to maneuver, and I just really don't know why they still chose to do that. They could have made it a solid kind of plastic piece, but then again, that would detract from the overall appearance. So there's that. Now, in terms of accessories, she does have a few accessories. Let's start with the helm. And we do see here, very nice helm, just what was on the cloth kind of object mode. And again, this resembles a Spartan helmet. Very, very beautiful. We do have kind of purple lavender highlights again. This camera would not focus today. Right there. And to put it on, very simple. What we're going to have to do is actually pop off her hair. And here we have Athena with her helmet all done up, looking very, very nicely. Like she's ready to go to war. Now we can move these hair pieces out of the way. Actually kind of look from the back as well. Very, very nice, kind of the hair flowing out from under the helmet. So there you have that. I'm gonna put her off back to the back there, and I'm just gonna take a look at a few other accessories here. She does come with 2 additional faces, so we do have this face, and there's also that face that we actually had with that previous Saori Kido video, because all the faces came with this figure, not the other one. And here we have a closed eye face. You can see like she's praying. And the last face is her kind of just screaming or yelling or whatever's going on. Now, in terms of hands, she has 2 relaxed hands, just like this. And she has 2 holding hands, just like that. Now, the hands are obviously made to hold certain things, right? So one of them would be her staff. This is the Athena staff. We saw this from the cloth object mode as well. Nice metallic silver kind of handle with the symbol of Athena up top. And of course, it came with 2 different types of these. I guess one that was more manga version, and the other one that is more anime version. And we'll take a look at that, difference between the 2 towards the end when we're doing comparisons. So there is that. And the other thing, of course, is Athena's shield. Very, very beautiful. You can probably see all the handprints and myself in the camera. Hi, right there. Hello. But yeah, nice kind of metallic silver with some gold highlights all in the middle there. All this nice engraving. And of course, on the back, there is a handle that can kind of swing out and hinge at different hinges. It can also swivel around kind of depending on what you need for her to hold. So yeah, there is the shield. Now, being a 20th anniversary commemoration set, Athena also comes with a special stand, and here is that stand. It is a very big stand. Of course, it also comes with this kind of display arm, which is attached to this middle piece, so there's nothing special to see here. I'm just going to pop that off. And here we do see we have the symbol of Athena. This is, of course, more the manga version symbol of Athena. So there's that. But also, if you look closely on the outside, we do see the 5 bronze saints around the circle here. We got Pegasus, we have Andromeda, we have Cygnus, or Swan, or however you want to call it. We have the... Actually, no, sorry, my bad. We have the Phoenix, we have Cygnus, Swan, whatever you want to call it, and we have the dragon here. So what I think is going to happen is this exact same stand is going to be released along the 5 Pearlescent First Bronze Saint, again, 20th anniversary commemorative edition that's coming later this year. So there is that. Now, something that is also cool is you can take this middle piece, pop it right out, and you also get this 20th anniversary Saint Cloth Myth kind of emblem thing right here. Again, you can just put that right in here and that'll fit right in. It doesn't actually clip in, it's just friction pegs in, so it is quite easy to just pop it right out, which is a little annoying, but again, not the end of the world. And the other thing is, this thing, if you see, there's ridges, so you can actually rotate to whichever one you really need. And again, this further strengthens my theory that they're going to release this with the Bronze Saints, because literally you can just pop that out, switch to whichever one. Say I want to switch to the Swan, that's right there. Say I want to switch to Andromeda, that's right there. So why not, right? There's that. So getting all that stuff out of the way. Now for some comparisons. Here I have the regular civilian version of Athena. This is of course Saori Kido, if I can get her to stand, which is really hard. So there she is, and we can see exactly the same figure. As I mentioned, because this is a premium set, they came with both figures. So those that are still wondering, yes, you do get both figures in this special premium set. Very, very nice there. And as I mentioned earlier, we do see the two different forms of the staff. We do see this one just comes off as a little nub in the middle, whereas this one is definitely more detailed and actually looks like a head of a bird. So yeah, just the two different types of staffs there. Next, I'm going to move these guys to the back so then we can bring in a few more comparisons to see here. Coming in on the right, we do have King Poseidon, which is one of her uncles. And coming in on the left, we have Hades, which again is another one of her uncles here. So we do see that this one is, again, this one also is an EX metal body, so it's very, very stable. I just put him on a pedestal because it looks really nice. Poseidon here, look at the joints here, they are not EX metal, and unfortunately he is extremely, extremely weak. His ankles are horrible. You tilt him wrong and he'll just flop right over, so I really don't mind if they reissue this guy later on in the future, because I will pick him up if they do EX metal him. But in the meantime, out of all of these, I still do love Hades the most because he just looks really, really cool. So yeah, that's it for comparisons. So some final thoughts on Athena EX here. I do really appreciate that we finally got a Mythcloth EX release of the Goddess Athena, especially for the 20th anniversary commemorative edition. The design, I love it. Nothing to say about that. However, the execution and how this whole figure handles leaves a little bit to be desired. I do wish they would have changed how they did the whole skirt as well as the foot part, especially for this one. It's hard to really see her feet, so I don't see why the feet had to be made so small. So the stability is just really, really bad when it comes to that. Also, the skirt makes it extremely hard to just get the armor pieces where they need to go, and it's hard to kind of position her feet as well underneath that skirt. So those are my main big issues that I have with this figure, but otherwise this figure is really, really nice. I do love the stand that it comes with, and like I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to reuse that stand with the other figures to come this year. But yeah, those are my final thoughts. If you guys enjoyed the review, be sure to let me know by hitting that thumbs up button, and until next time guys, take care, bye. 近づけるかな夢のかけら大好きな人思い描いた愛の形はずっとずっと探し続けて